Right. Hello, my friends. Good morning and welcome. It's Tuesday. It's 10 o'clock Spanish time, and I'm very, very happy to be here with you. Now, today it's a bit of a technological experiment because I'm streaming both on YouTube and Facebook. Done a little trial test. I hope it works. I think it works. But I have a feeling that it might be a slightly different class than usual. But let's see how it works out, right? I guess the added bonus, the advantage at the moment is that I think I can share my screen. Right, good morning, Kus and Fridavs. Nice to see you. Two guys from YouTube. Lovely to see you here. Parveen's here and Lasha. Hello there. So it's great to be here. And I am today going to look at the topic of social media. Right? So social media and telephones, because they are challenging topics and they are topics that quite a few students have asked me to help them with. Hi, Philly. Nice to see you here. It's great to have guys from Facebook and guys from YouTube. So a mixed bag today. Michael, I'm very well. Thank you very much. Sashin, nice to see you. Brilliant. So I'm looking forward. Who's from Bangladesh? Abapari, nice to see you from Bangladesh. And Parveen as well. Great. So we're going to look at social media and we're going to look at one of the questions, well, kind of part 3 questions about social media, and also one of the part 2 questions, which is about mobile phones. And you may be familiar with that question. Describe a time when you could not use your mobile phone. So we're going to look at that question a little bit. Hey, William. Hi, good morning from Hong Kong. And Emily's here. Nice to see you as always. Roxana, good morning. So it's a very interesting topic. Le from Vietnam, Pals from the Philippines. Everybody stay safe. Absolutely, Diana. Well, we're all indoors. Well, maybe we're not. A lot of you may not be indoors, but here in Europe, and certainly in Spain, most of us are inside, indoors, keeping away from people. So it's fantastic having things like this. Social media leads me nicely into the question. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Can be a great thing. Hi, Elias, all the way from Bangladesh. Great to see you here, as always. And Zia from Pakistan. So brilliant. We're going to look at that question and generally social media. Now, in the Facebook group, I get lots of comments from people. I'm going to tell you now, your comments are going so fast, I won't be able to read all of them, but we'll try and see what we can do, right? So social media, let me put in a few questions about social media. Do you guys, I was going to say, do you guys use social media? Hi, Emmy. Of course you do, because you're on it right now, YouTube and Facebook. Hi, Tanya. Nice to see you here. Great. Maria from Pakistan. I'm delighted to hear that. That's fantastic. So I'm going to jump straight in. Hassan, I'm very well. I'll try not to get distracted by your comments over here. Hi, Minu and Sonsid and Hassan and Mohammed Ali Haji from Tunisia. Great to see you here. So my question is social media important, right? Well, what do you guys think? Is social media important? Is social media important? I'm just going to see if I can check my image, not my image, to see if the video's coming up on Facebook. Well, is social media important? First of all, first and foremost, I think it's incredibly useful if you're looking for a job, because you can use social media to help get recruited, right? There are certain sites, for example, LinkedIn, where you can contact and be contacted by HR departments, headhunters, recruiting agencies. And these are great ways to help you find a job, to get in touch with companies. And also, you know, social media can be great for building your personal brand. You can use social media sites like LinkedIn to tell people about yourself, create a good first impression. nice photo, your background, your history, show your skills, have endorsements from other people on how good you are at different things. So it can be a very powerful way of building your personal brand and helping you get a job. Ba-bam. Right. So there's one idea, right? Now, the thing is, with many, many questions in IELTS, they are very, very big questions and wide questions. So you probably want to narrow in and get in a bit focused on one area to talk about, okay? So just let me go back and go over a few things. Great. So quite a few of you have said social media is crucial in our lives. It helps you connect with other people. Perfect. This day and age, it is important to communicate in this day and age. That's brilliant. So listen, as people are doing this, I'm going to talk to you, but also share some language that might help. So if I share my screen, I'm doing this very slowly because I've got no idea. I've not done this. I've done this once before. Oh, right. You can see it, right? Excellent. Good. You can see it, which is good news. Is social media yes and no? So for recruiting, so that was one of the main things we talked about. For recruiting, you can, okay, let me just put this in here. You can contact and be contacted by. That's nice, isn't it? And be contacted by. You've got the active and the passive. HR departments, headhunters, recruiters, all of that. Shall I make that a little bit bigger? Yeah. I also talked about promoting your personal brand. Somebody said, what's brand? Brand is, of course, like it's Coca-Cola is a brand. Gucci is a brand. YouTube is a brand. It's a name, a famous name. But we talk about personal brand is your name, right? So to make your name not like Coca-Cola, not famous, but to set a good impression. So if on your social media you have a nice avatar with a nice clear photo, and you have, like in LinkedIn, you have a description of your education, your qualification, you can promote a good personal brand, create a good first impression, right? It's so important. Many companies, when they recruit, the first thing they see is your avatar. That's your picture. And if your avatar is a monkey or an elephant, it's not the best first impression. We're talking about looking for a job here. Okay, so those are some things we can talk about, right? Creating a good first impression. Of course, LinkedIn is one of the great examples. It's always good in IELTS to give examples, lots of detailed examples. So, for example, LinkedIn. Okay, Pachu, we're on social media. Just to let you know, Mina from Kuwait, welcome. Right, other people have talked about to get updates on jobs. Yes, get job updates. That's nice. Thank you very much. Get job updates. Deputy Jimmy, thank you. That's great. You get job updates on the latest jobs. We can also use it for advertising and other things. Feline says to find a job. That's right. Personal brands. Okay, so that's your image on social media. Hi, Mary. Good to see you here. It's part of our lives, and for some people, it's a source of income. So is it important? Yes, for some people, it's a source of income. So we use it for advertising. Many, many companies use social media for advertising. You'll notice when you watch YouTube videos, there's lots of advertisements pop up. So companies are using it to advertise their companies, and of course to get income, right? Nice collocation, to get income. Rather than saying earn money, just talk about getting income. Slightly nicer. Okay. Brilliant. Great. Isa, thank you very much for sharing. That's great. So social media is important. We've got Anna from Canada. Oh, Larsha's got a nice one. It's impossible to overestimate the importance of social media. That is so nice. It's impossible to overestimate the importance of social media. So overestimate. That means you cannot say too much. It's incredibly important. It's impossible to overestimate the importance of something, right? That is a nice expression. So all of you, get your pens and papers out, make a note. I like that. Very, very good. Thank you, Lasha. Okay. Right. So for Sohail, it's a major way of interacting with colleagues, right? So this is another thing about social media. It's a great way to connect with people. It's really important for people who are isolated, especially older people. They may be living on their own. Their family have fled the nest, have gone away, and they're left to look after themselves. And they get isolated very quickly. They can become lonely, which in turn can lead to possible mental health problems. So it's really important for connecting with people. Of course, in this day and age, love that expression, in this day and age now, with the coronavirus, a lot of people are stuck at home. They cannot get out and they can be isolated. And social media is a fantastic way to connect with others. You can do it at the push of a button, sending a picture, just a like, or even having a video call with your uncles, aunties, nephews, and nieces. So it really is important, especially in these days with our international pandemic. Right. So there you go. You can talk about connecting with people, right? Let me scroll down. Connecting with people is really important. Absolutely. So it's really important connecting with people, especially in this day and age. I love that expression, which means nowadays. Nowadays. Right? Nowadays, it's really important because people can be alone. It can lead to isolation. Loneliness are all good words. Loneliness. Help. I'm typing really, really badly. It can lead to loneliness, possible mental health problems if people cannot connect. I talked about people leaving the nest, right? When children have fled the nest. That's when they've left home. And the elderly or the grandparents are left to fend for themselves. Fend for themselves. That's a nice expression, which just means to look after themselves. Nice. But of course, yes, in these situations, really, really important to have social media. Let's see what else you've said. It can save time and money, says Pachu. That's right. Thank you very much, Depti. Misty from Vietnam, hello. Oh, now Paoletta Pironi says a very good question. Is media singular? No, media is the plural and the singular is medium. However, we never, and I don't know why, we never say social medium. We always talk about social media. So whether it's in the singular or the plural, we always say social media. I don't know why. I know in Latin, media is plural, but we use it for both plural and singular. But great question. Paoletta, great question. Let me come back. I'm back here. It's me again for the moment. Right. Tancha is from New Zealand. Great. And Milky Way says, this is the power of social media. We can interact right away. It's instantaneous, right? Great. Brilliant. What else have we got? To deliver a message quickly is great. Now, Amit brings up a very good question. In my sense, sometimes the authenticity of news may not be true, and the influence can be falsified. Right, so the authenticity is not true. Authenticity is the truth, how real it is. So there's a problem, right? Which leads us actually onto my next question, which we're going to look at, which is a great point. So the next question is social, excuse me, it's that tea. It's my honey, lemon, and ginger tea. It's making me burp. Sorry about that. Not very professional, but you know, we're all human. Is social media a good thing? Well, there's the issue of fake news there as well, right? Because social media is a very, very powerful tool to spread the news, to share ideas. But it also means anybody can spread any news. So there's a risk that false news can be spread very easily. And indeed, because it's shared on social media, it's hard to track down the source of news. And so you never know if it's reliable, if it's trustworthy, if it's authentic. Wow. What amazing words, right? Reliable, trustworthy, authentic. Brilliant words. We'll come back. I'll write these down for you in a moment. So it can be a double-edged sword, right? It can be good that you get news from all around the world quickly. But on the other hand, you don't know if it's true or not. Right. Okay. So let me share some of those words. We're on a roll today. We're on a roll. Can I share my screen again? I'm sure I can. I think so. Yeah. So we don't know so we can share, right? We talk about sharing news. Be careful if you talk about spreading news, because spreading news is a bit negative. When we talk about spreading fake news, right? We talk about spreading gossip. We talk about spreading myths and rumors. So gossip is when you're talking about your neighbor. Did you know the lady next door? I've seen her with another man, not her husband. I've seen her with the man who lives at number 16. They were together walking in the park. That's gossip, right? It's just idle chatter, as we call it, idle chatter. It's just nonsense, right? It's things that are probably not true, but people are very interested in gossip. So you spread gossip, you spread rumors is another one, things that are not true. So you can see spread has a bit of a negative connotation. That's the word. Thank you. Negative connotation. But share is just positive, right? You share news, share the good news, share your happiness. Okay. So we're not sure about the reliability of news, the trustworthiness. Wow, the word's getting bigger. Trustworthy. Trustworthiness. If you want the noun, I'll just make it clear it's the noun. Or the authenticity. Authenticity is the noun. Okay, the reliability is also the noun. So we don't know about the reliability or the trustworthiness or authenticity. It's great when you're learning words to learn the adjective, the noun, and the verb, right? So if you just want to say, you can make it easier, you can use the adjectives. We don't know if it's reliable. Is it reliable? Is it trustworthy? Might be easier. And is it authentic? So all of these are I don't know why I've got capitals, sorry about that. All these are the adjectives. Okay. Great, just to make that clearer. Okay, so Some nice words to be using there, I think. So is it a good thing? So in that case, yes, it can be a double-edged sword, right? That was the other expression, a double-edged sword. It's a bit of a cliche, but you can still say that. It's a double-edged sword, right? It's got good and it's got bad. Okay, brilliant. Oh, Isa says you can gain valuable insights about your customers. Yes, you can. So when it comes to business, so let me just stop sharing again. Let me come back in. Where am I? There I am. Great. Okay. Excellent. So somebody's here talking about the business side. So social media is extremely powerful for businesses, right? It's good for businesses. No, you can't see me writing at the moment, but don't worry, because you can get insights into your customers, and your customer behavior. I'll put customer behavior. So insights literally means to look in, to sight, from vision to see, to look in. Insight is to see inside something. You can get insights, not go, but get insights into customer behavior. Because with social media, especially Facebook, you can know what your customers like, what they buy, what they watch, what they do, where they are, what color socks they wear. It's frightening what Facebook knows about you and me. But it's a very, very good point. So for business, it can be very, very good. It's also a very powerful channel for advertising, right? Powerful channel for advertising. Because you can advertise with video, with pictures. You can get in front of a lot of people at the flick of a switch, in front of a lot of people, right? At the flick of a switch, literally, instantly. Press the button at the flick of a switch. They're all the same expressions. I'm going to share these with you just in a moment. So is it really, really good? It is really good. Shvita, am I too late? No, you're not too late, but you were 18 minutes late, which means you should go and stand in the corner. Do you remember that years ago? I don't know if they do this in schools, but the teacher used to make us, when I was at school, stand in the corner if we were late and either put a book on our heads, right? Literally, we'd have to put a book on our heads and stand in the corner like that for 5 minutes. And all the other kids loved it. They thought it was hilarious. But what a terrible thing to do. I don't know if teachers still do that in your schools, do they? I don't know. So anyway, let us move on. Great. What else have we got? Saeed asks, how can I improve my speaking skills in just 30 days? Well, 30 days is a very, 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 very short time. Speak more. Really, the more you speak, the better you get. William I'm in two minds about social media. And William, that is a fantastic expression, right? Let me share that with everybody. I'm in two minds about social media. So if you're in two minds about something, it means you're unsure, right? I'm unsure about something. I'm not sure if it's good or if it's bad. Brilliant. What else? Emmy says social media is a sword with double edge. Right. We say a double-edged sword. Double-edged sword. Thank you. And as Farhad says, it depends how we use it, right? With all of these tools in technology, it depends how we use it. Absolutely. Yes. So let me scroll right down. Oh, somebody's got their exam tomorrow. Okin, I will exam tomorrow. May I ask a question about listening? Can I answer with all capital letters? You better not. You better not, because some words in English take a capital, like the months, right? March, April, May. Other words don't. So you need to differentiate between capitals and small letters. So better not do everything in capitals. Right. Right. Know-how's talked about misinformation. That's a very good word as well. Misinformation. So listen, let me just share the screen with you to catch up on some of these words. Hang on a moment. This is a bit strange for me. It really is. So we've talked about we don't know if news is reliable. Is it trustworthy? There is misinformation. That's basically fake news. It's a double-edged sword. So we've said also it's good for business, right? So let's scroll down. Good for business. Nice expression there, that you can get insights into your customer behavior. A powerful channel for advertising. You can get in front of a lot of people. Or a company can get in front of a lot of people. That means it can put its advertisement in front of a lot of people. And immediately, at the flick of a switch, at the press of a button, right? And if you're unsure about something, then you're in two minds about social media. Brilliant. Now HL Stories, interesting name. Social media can alert people about the epidemic, the pandemic. You're right. Social media can give people news and information that's really important. Right, excellent. Okay, stop sharing. Stop sharing screen. Come back. Drink more tea, it says. My computer says drink more tea. I do get very, very thirsty. It's all this talking. And it's very good to stay hydrated. Oh, it's the ginger. We've got ginger. It's ginger, honey, and lemon. Normally I have tea, but in this day and age, nowadays, because of the virus, my wife is being very, very careful. And she has recommended that the whole family have ginger hot water with honey and lemon every morning to keep the bugs away. And that's it. I usually listen to my wife. I think that's good advice. It's actually very nice. It's a very nice morning drink. Gets you rehydrated and full of energy. Right, good. Now then, the good and the bad of social media. I've noticed a few people here are talking about the manipulation of social media, or social media is used to manipulate other people, which is kind of true, right? And there was the classic case of the elections, the general elections in the United States, where some of the data collected, for example, by Facebook, was leaked and shared or given or stolen, maybe. Do you remember Cambridge Analytics, right? The data was leaked, and they used the data to then send advertising and propaganda and campaigns during the election to influence people. And because people don't know where the information comes from, they may believe it, and that influenced their voting. And some people say that's why Donald Trump got into office, because of this unfair, manipulative use of social media. So it's a very, very good point you can bring up as well and talk about that. So I think manipulation, I was going to say manipulation is a good word. It's not a good word. It's a horrible thing, right? But it's a nice word to use in IELTS. Manipulation. Manipulative is the adjective, right? So the companies can be manipulative and they use manipulation. That means basically they control you, but you don't realize it, right? So data can be leaked is another expression we use. Data can be leaked or data can be stolen by third parties. Third parties is used a lot in technology and with social media. It's just everybody else. It's all these other companies. So Facebook takes and gives it to third parties, to other companies, so they can send you advertisements about yellow socks and things that are really important to you. So data can be leaked. It can be sold or stolen, let's say. So stolen, sold, same thing. Can be stolen by third parties. Sometimes, anyway, not always. And so they have, then the argument is that the third parties have an unfair advantage, or the Democrats or the Republicans had an unfair advantage in the election. So that might be a good word to use, an unfair advantage. So they're in a good position because they've used social media, maybe. So great. Let me just share those with you. I'm like jumping from one seat to another. It's like a child in the park jumping from the swing to the roundabout. Manipulation, right? That's controlling people, but they don't realize it. So somebody is manipulative. So the accent's on the manipulative rather than manipulation. And be careful in English, because when you change noun to adjective to verb, often the stress changes. Data can be leaked and data can be stolen by third parties to get an unfair advantage. Excellent. Good. Right. How are you guys doing? By the way, I will share somehow, I don't know about YouTube, but on Facebook, I will share a copy of this document so you could go there and get it. Brilliant. What else? What else are we talking about here? What are guys saying? Emily says, on the one hand, social media provides an easy way to connect with your friends and family. Plus, most of the people even foster their creativity to upload their videos on social media. I like that. They foster their creativity. So they nurture and bring out their creativity on social media. However, being addicted to social media is quite bad. And maybe you would lose real social skills. Now, that's interesting. Real social skills. I assume you mean face-to-face, interpersonal skills. So addiction is a very, very good question. In fact, you've stolen, Emily, you are a third party stealing my data. You've not stolen my question. You've anticipated my next question. Is social media addictive? Great. What is your Facebook account? Lynn, my Facebook account is... Anybody? What is my Facebook account? I don't know. I know what it's called, but it's IELTS Speaking Success. So let me give you, where is it? I'll send you a link. IELTS Speaking Success. Facebook IELTS Speaking Success. Well, I'm just going to paste and copy. So you can come there and you can collect the documents. And there's 1,000, it's 1,000 beautiful things on my Facebook page. Lots of videos and classes that you can just go and watch. There you go. IELTS Speaking Success, loads of stuff. And if you join the group as well, you get lots more of documents and photos and things. Anyway, please, mister, put this video on your YouTube account. Well, I think it will do, Memi. I think it goes as a live video. I assume. I think so. Right. Lynn, it's the first time you've watched me. Welcome. Great. I hope it helps. Excellent. The meaning of addictive. Well, what a good question, Memi. What a great way to start. So addictive is when you what? When you what? Addictive, addiction. It's when you want something and you need something so badly that you must have it. So a lot of people smoke, right? and they smoke a lot. And if you take away the cigarettes, they get sick, they shake and they vomit and they're really sick because they need the cigarette. They need the nicotine. They are addicted to cigarettes. Addictive, right, as the adjective. Alcohol can be addictive. Some people just need it all the time. Social media can be addictive. Video games can be addictive. So it's a very, very good question. Yes. So Sandeep says, yes, it engulfs our time without us even realizing it. Yeah, great. I love that. It engulfs our time is a nice metaphor. It sucks up our time. I'm going to write these down and share them with you. It swallows up our time. All of these are metaphorical, but they're really good. And we just spend so much time without realizing it, right? Thanks, Trishit. Good, Mary, thank you. That's great. Thanks for answering others. It really helps me a lot, especially today. It means wasting time. Not exactly, well, wasting time. It means you need it. It makes our mind blunt. We started believing our virtual world. Yeah, obsessed with. That's true, yes. Cannot leave a habit. That's nice. I like that one. Cannot stop a habit. So let me write that down. I think that's a really good addiction. To be addicted. Let's do it with the adjective first. To be addicted means you cannot stop a habit. And I was going to say a bad habit, but it's not always a bad habit, right? Some people are addicted to exercise. Some people are addicted to smoothies and healthy food. Seriously, it's just they have to exercise every day, and if they don't, they get withdrawal symptoms. And that's the other word you should know, is withdrawal symptoms. And that's when you start feeling sick if you don't have it. So if you're addicted to cigarettes and you don't have a cigarette, you get withdrawal symptoms such as sweating, shaking, vomiting, things like that, right? All of those. So you can be addicted, and so therefore something, it is addictive. It's the other adjective. Smoking is addictive. Apparently, those of you who smoke will know this. Great. Oh, right. Okay. You cannot survive without it. It's called, yes, exactly. You can't live without it. You're obsessed. Brilliant. Thank you. These are great. You're all fantastic teachers. Brilliant. You're all teaching each other. And Abdahal says that social media is truly addictive. Ah, Wenting, you've talked about the fear of missing out. Absolutely. Talk about FOMO. And this is really good, right? If you're going to answer or talk about social media, technology, mobile phones, FOMO is the fear of missing out. And it's really, really a great example to talk about. Let me share this with you on the screen and we can explain as I go. Just a tick. Just a moment. Just a tick. Just a moment. That's what my grandmother used to say. Just a tick. Like tick tock, just a tick, just a moment. Is social media addictive? Probably. It engulfs our time, right? It swallows up our time or sucks up our time. Great. These are all really nice expressions. So to be addicted means you cannot stop a habit. You cannot give it up. Smoking is addictive. You need it, and you get withdrawal symptoms. So you can get, we use that with get, you can get withdrawal symptoms. So you notice what I'm doing, right? When you learn a word like withdrawal symptoms, don't just write down withdrawal symptoms. Write down a phrase. It's really important. Find out what is the verb that goes with it. Or if it's a verb, if it's a verb, what is the adjective that goes with it, or the noun that goes with it? So find the collocation. What words go together, and write down a phrase. It's so important that you learn the words in context. Really, really, really. So you can get withdrawal symptoms, and those may be, things like sweating, vomiting, shaking. They're normally physical reactions. And we've talked about the fear of missing out. And this, I'm sure most of you know this more than me, but the fear of missing out is when you think everybody else is having a great time. So you go on Facebook and you see all your friends posting beautiful photos with beautiful scenery, and they're having a drink and they're having a beautiful dinner, and you think their life is perfect and mine isn't. And so your fear is that they are better, that you're missing out on a beautiful life, a perfect life that everybody else is having. And so you become addicted to social media, right? You become dependent on, you just check your Facebook all the time because you're afraid somebody's going to have a party without you. Somebody's going to have something really good without you, that you're going to miss out on it. And so you're always checking your news feed just in case you miss an important update, right? Which never happens because there are no important updates. And of course, not everybody else has got the beautiful life or the perfect life. People just like to capture a moment, a second in their lives and put it on Facebook. It's not really what their life looks like, of course. So fear of missing out is really interesting. It's really good to talk about. Great. And excuse me. Excuse me. That's not very good, is it? In this day and age. But I was told, sneeze into your elbow, apparently. That's what they say. Now, Yunwoi Lee says, I believe it is addictive. There are so many people that show their luxury life, which can make me feel poor. For that reason, I don't use social media. That's exactly what we're talking about. Yes, and we do. Everybody else feels poor, not as good, but it's not true. This is the thing, right? It's not true. My voice is fairly addictive. Fantastic. Really. Thank you, Bai Chuan. Thank you. So William says, I would say if we're talking about the youngsters, and I love that, right? When you're answering questions in IELTS, be specific. Talk about different groups of people. Give specific examples. And William has got this lovely way. If we are talking about youngsters, if we're talking about elderly people, great, love it. If we're talking about youngsters, most of them are just sitting in the front of the computer, chatting and playing games with friends. So they can't back to the swing of things. They can't get back into the swing of things. Yeah, that's nice. Very, very nice. Excellent. What happens when I press that? Oh, look at that. Oh, I've just discovered a little trick. Isn't that good? Now, how do I get it off? As much as I love it, William, how do I take it off? Can't take it off. Oh, there must be a way. Listen, I will discover as I go along. Quesito, does today's lesson start early? Not at all. Quesito, not at all. Well, you're 40 minutes late. Right, okay. Let's move on. How can I get rid of that? There must be a way of getting rid of that. Oh, we'll leave it up. William, you're going to be a star. This is your personal brand. Great. Repeating the question, Manny, we're talking about social media and addiction. Is social media addictive? Okay. Let's go. Social media can be a tool for cyberbullying. Okay, cyberbullying. So you've brought me on to the good and the bad of social media. I'm going to share a picture with you and talk you through it a little bit, because Janelle has reminded me about cyberbullying. Anyone can create a fake account and quite easy to bully other people. So to bully, right? To bully people is to treat them badly. I've just got an idea. Treat them. I can replace Williams with mine. Is to treat others, to treat someone badly. Maybe hitting them or stealing from them. Right? Typically, we have the big boy at school and the little boy. And the big boy says, oh, give me your dinner money, or give me your food, or I will hit you. And that boy, the big boy, is the bully. So you bully weaker people, right? That's the thing. Where's my message? Right. To bully, hey, I'm getting the hang of this. To treat someone badly by hitting them or stealing them, and typically a weaker person. Right. Elena, I'll tell you what's happened, Elena, is I'm not on an hour earlier. Well, I am, but the clocks in Europe have gone forward an hour. So what's happened is I've just realized that when I tell people the times in other parts of the world that haven't gone forward, you're an hour behind. That's what's happened. Yeah. So you're right. I need to update my Facebook cover. So the times, this is going to be the time, right? The normal time. In fact, we're coming to the end of the class already. Oh, right. Minu, isn't that true, Minu? People get cheated. Like now in the name of Corona donation, people are sending fake messages for donation. And it is horrible. It is. But let me do a quick share with you. I've got a little graphic here. And I'm just going to talk you through this to give you some more ideas and language about social media, pros and cons. Of course, pros and cons are the advantages and disadvantages. Oh, I can't get rid of my message. Come on, get rid of my message. Never mind. So the what? So we talked about getting recruited, right? One of the pros is we can get recruited through social media. We've talked about make a name for yourself is similar to the personal brand we talked about. I've just found out how to hide it. To build your personal brand, to become famous. So people use social media, these YouTubers, to become famous. You can connect with others. Now, we've talked about the problems of isolation and loneliness and how it's important, especially for elderly people, and at this time with the coronavirus, how we connect with others so they are not too lonely and isolated. Of course, social media can be used to educate others. Like me, I'm helping other people learn English or get educated. So you can learn lots and lots through social media, especially YouTube, right? It's an absolute plethora of incredible training and learning content. You can get different opinions. Now, this is partly true. So you can go to social media and engage with people from all over the world and get different opinions and ideas, which helps you broaden your horizons and learn new things. In the pink, we've got some negative things. Cyberbullying, as I mentioned, is where somebody bullies other people online. We've had a few people talk about cyberbullying here. Somebody said it's pressurizing, what was it? Psychological pressure. Yes, it is. So it's attacking other people. It's writing nasty comments. It's writing horrible things on their social media to make them feel bad. Sometimes famous people get death threats through social media, which is a form of bullying, basically. People say, I'm going to kill you. It's horrible, right? So this is cyberbullying, and it happens amongst teenagers as well as amongst adults, where they tease each other or they may say nasty things to each other. So all of that can happen. Okay, I'll just make a few notes so I can share with you in a moment. There's gossip, and we talked about this, right? When people like to spread gossip, remember? Spread gossip, spread rumors, spread this fake news. You know, Mrs. Jones at number 11 is apparently going out with the man at number 22 and all of that gossip. It's just a waste of time. There is stalking. Stalking is similar to hunting. And this is where a fan will follow a famous person, usually in person, right? I mean, in real life, they will follow them. They will go to the concert if they're a singer. They will give them flowers. They will go to their house. They will send them letters. They will sit outside their house, and they will send them social media messages to the point of being scary. And often the stalker can be psychologically disturbed and can be dangerous in many, many cases. So stalking is a con. There's fake identity, people pretending to be other people, scammers. Somebody talked about scammers before, people trying to scam. Scammers are the people, and for example, you mentioned that in the coronavirus, people trying to get donations, pretending to be, for the coronavirus, whatever it is. And so to scam people is basically to cheat other people and try and get their money. And predators, so fake identity, sometimes you get this when maybe not just men, but often, yes, but all kinds of people who pretend to be other people, sometimes to make contact with others, but then they may attack the other people or rob them or steal them or other things. And finally, getting hacked. You can use social media to hack into somebody's account, pretend to be them, and ask for their bank account. So I could pretend to be your grandfather and or your brother and say, come on, send me the money you promised me, but I've hacked your account and I'm not really you, and I can steal your money. Of course, that happens, and it's terrible. So there are some pros and cons. Let me come back. Here I am again. So let me just share some of those words with you just before we wind up. And as I said, well, hang on a minute. We've got nasty comments, death threats, where you say you're going to kill someone. Teenagers may tease each other, is to kind of make fun of each other. Scammers are the people who scam other people. They cheat them and they pretend to be someone else, okay, which is also known as an imposter. So we have all of these things as well. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to share this with you. I don't know how to share it on YouTube, so I'll send a link, and you can go to the Facebook page, join the Facebook group, and you can get the document here. I might put it on the website. I don't know. I'll see how much time I've got. I'll try and get it to you somehow, one way or another. Okay, brilliant. So we've got some great expressions here. I'm hoping that you're watching the messages. And maybe this is what I can do. I've just realized, I'm sorry, but I've just realized I can highlight some of the useful messages. They're all useful, but ones that are particularly good for language, right? Disseminating artificial rumors. Disseminating is spreading. It's a nice word, okay? So, Lalv, thank you very much. That's great. And this one was the one I saw before from Lasha. So bullying is a kind of psychological pressurizing. It's very, very true. Absolutely. Okay. Excellent. Good. Igor is very true. Igor says, scammers are going to scam, haters are going to hate. It's true. And to be honest, with the haters and the people who are bullying, cyberbullying, the best thing to do is just ignore it. Don't even answer, because it's a waste of time. Right, excellent. Okay. Yes, Wenting talks about the overnight success. Social media influencer. So overnight success means you become successful at the click of a finger. Overnight, very, very quickly. Excellent, good. So what time do I start? Okay, so this is a good question. So I start the class every Tuesday and Thursday. Please come on Thursday at 10 a.m. Spain time. And I'm going to update my Facebook cover because I realize in some countries in Europe, we have gone forward an hour. And people in Asia are thinking, are you Europeans crazy? What do you mean you've gone forward an hour? It's true. Everybody in Europe gets into a little time machine. And overnight, on the March the 28th, March the 29th, everybody in Europe gets into a time machine and we go forward an hour. It's amazing. And then we come out of this little box and suddenly we're an hour forward. We've lost an hour of our lives. Isn't that strange? It's part of a European culture. No, what we do is we just take the clock and we turn the clock forward an hour. We play with time. It's crazy, I know. But we do that. So that's why there's been a confusion, because the rest of the world has not got into your time machine, right? Maybe you don't have a time machine. So you haven't been able to move forward. So I will just check 10 o'clock Spain time. Check the time in your country at that time, and that's when I'm here. Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, I'm going to wrap up. I'm just going to close with a nice few comments over here. A con artist is nice. So we talked about scammer. Con artist stands for confidence artist because they steal your confidence or your trust. That is a nice expression as well. Excellent. Good, good, good. Anything else? There's so many comments. It's so hard to keep track. Excellent. Blackmail is another. Blackmail is much stronger. I mean, blackmail is where you, for example, you take some photos of somebody that they don't want anybody to see, and you say, give me lots of money or else I will put this on YouTube or Facebook and everybody will see. And so they can blackmail and steal your money from you. Yes. Right. Brilliant. Okay, guys, there's so many comments. It's hard to keep up. I'm going to finish here for today. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining. It's absolutely fantastic. And I think I just take my hat off. If I had a hat, I would take my hat off to you. I am full of respect and admiration to all of you because you're here showing up in the morning to study. And for those of you, I know so many of you have come here day after day, week after week, and have been with me on Facebook for a long time. So really fantastic. I'm hoping it can help you with vocabulary, with ideas for a lot of these IELTS questions. And that's it. We will finish here for today. Keep the comments coming because you can always go back and look at the comments. And I think this will show up on YouTube. I'll make sure it does. It will show up on Facebook. Come over to the Facebook page. You can come and see me there, and you can what? You can come and join in the fun that we have on Facebook. This is I'll just share it one last time with you. That's the one. Facebook IELTS Speaking Success. There's a Facebook group. You'll see a link. If you want to join the group, you can. Brilliant. Guys, thank you very much. Time for some more tea. Take care, all of you. Cheerio now. Bye-bye. I don't know how to turn this off. Let's stay here all day. No, there must be an off button. Ah, got it.